Coming up on OU Nightly, we have multiple chances of severe weather over the next week. We have the forecast.
A decision has been made for the Rock Creek Entertainment and Arena project. Find out the latest. And what an expert has to say on measles cases increasing across the country. Are you at risk? This is OU Nightly.
Evening. We begin tonight with breaking news. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Sophia Cabrera.
And I'm Emma McAndrews. We're following reports of a shooting near the 200 block of Woodcrest Drive here in Norman.
Our very own Spencer Tabb is at the scene with the latest.
Spencer, what can you tell us at this time?
Yeah, Sophia, Emma, I'm here right near the intersection of Rock Creek Road and Porter Avenue at the Garland Square apartment complex. I'm going to step to the side right now. You can still see that scene. Some officers are still gathered here. We know that shots were fired at this apartment complex at around 1:30 this afternoon. Police say one person was hurt and they were transported to a nearby hospital. There have been no arrests made at this time. One officer here at the scene said the victim is expected to be okay. The situation again is still developing here and remains an active investigation. We'll be sure to bring you the latest information as we learn more details. For now, reporting live at the Garland Square apartment complex, Spencer Tabb, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Spencer. We've seen some pretty sunny weather recently, but it might not stay for long.
Let's head over to OU Nightly meteorologist Taylor King to see what kind of weather might be brewing.
Thanks, Emma and Sophia. Right now here in the Oklahoma City Metro, we're actually sitting rather dry. Let's take a quick look at the live radar where we are seeing some showers over in eastern portions of the state. We do have a flash flood warning out right now for the river up in Miami. So just a quick reminder for those who live up there to turn around, don't drown if you see standing water. But this will lead us into our severe weather risk for tonight. We have a slight risk for the far western portions of the state, and the main threat with this is the damaging wind and hail. Now, we cannot rule out a tornado or two with this threat. However, the wind and the hail are the biggest contributors. Now, coming up, we're going to be talking about heavy rain and more severe storm chances and a wet week ahead.
Thanks, Taylor. Postponed. That's what Norman City Council has decided with Rock Creek Entertainment and Arena project. OU Nightly reporter Abigail Franklin is following this new development and the ongoing issue in Norman. She joins us live now. Abigail.
Well, it's a battle that continues here in Norman over the Rock Creek and Entertainment District and Arena project. But Oklahomans for Responsible Economic Development are not done fighting for what they believe is right.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to postpone to a date certain of May 20th, 2025.
It's an ongoing fight to build or not to build, to vote or not to vote.
What has to happen is the legal system just has to play out.
That was attorney Rob Norman, who represents the Oklahomans who put forward a petition last year. That petition is currently in the Oklahoma Supreme Court's hands. But Norman City Council set their agenda Tuesday night to decide whether or not to approve the project phasing plans.
It does buy you a little bit more time to see if a decision is issued before you consider the phasing plan. So it does give you a little bit of time.
Oklahomans for Responsible Economic Development believe this shouldn't even be on the table until the Supreme Court makes a decision.
If you look at my letter, once the referendum power has been invoked on a city ordinance, so long as the referendum process is pending, the subject matter of the city ordinance is entirely withdrawn from further consideration of the legislative body of the city.
Now, Mayor-elect and current Ward 7 council member Stephen Tyler Holman added that he believes it is inappropriate to make any decision on this project until the court makes their decision on this petition that's currently in their hands. The postponement that they had last night did narrowly pass 5-4. This is obviously going to be an ongoing story here in Norman as more decisions get made for this project, but OU Nightly will continue to keep you updated on this as new information comes into our newsroom. But for one last time ever for OU Nightly, reporting live at Norman City Hall, Abigail Franklin, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Abigail. The Oklahoma State Department of Health confirms a new case of measles, bringing the state total to 13, 10 of those being positive test results, with 3 showing symptoms. We now know there are 2 exposure locations in Cleveland County, one at the Sooner Mall and one at Slaughterville Town Hall. If you are experiencing symptoms and were at Sooner Mall on April 14th or Slaughterville Town Hall on April 15th, it is very important you get tested. We spoke with OU Health Sciences professor about what to do if you think you were exposed.
If you are worried about having an exposure, you're worried that you have it, you can actually call the state health department, and it's the state epidemiologist on call who will kind of guide you as to what the next step is to do.
And catching the disease early can lessen symptoms. Oklahoma health authorities also strongly suggest receiving a measles vaccine, as in none of the 13 infected in Oklahoma were vaccinated.
Stock markets climb after President Trump goes back to his suggestion of firing the Federal Reserve chair and promises a trade deal. OU Nightly's Taryn Ward has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
Emma, President Trump says he will not fire Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell and says he is hoping to open to de-escalating the trade war with China.
Everybody wants to be a part of what we're doing. They know that they can't get away with it any longer, but they're still going to do fine. And we're going to have a country that you can be proud of.
Stocks then dipped this afternoon after a White House official warned it would take time to rebalance trade with China. 26 people are dead and 17 injured after an attack at a resort in an Indian-controlled region of Kashmir. It marks the worst assault since 2000 in the disputed territory. Officials say among the victims are tourists and Indian citizens, and Indian soldiers say they are still looking for who is responsible. Indian officials claim Pakistan is behind the act. Meanwhile, Pakistan says it will respond tomorrow. After a procession earlier today, the body of Pope Francis lies in state. Thousands gathered to see the pontiff's body in St. Peter's Basilica. After lying in state for 6 days, a funeral will be held for Pope Francis Saturday. President Trump, French President Emmanuel Macron, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky are expected to attend. Emma, Sophia, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Taryn. A wildfire outbreak in New Jersey is impacting southern parts of the state.
More information on the containment coming up.
And many world coral reefs have been severely impacted by bleaching.
The details on the global bleaching event when we come back.
This evening, firefighters in New Jersey are working to contain a spreading wildfire that has forced thousands of people out of their homes. OU Nightly's Cole Webster has the details in today's Earth Report.
Sophia, firefighters in the southern part of the state continue their fight against the Pine Barrens wildfire, with 40% of the fire now contained. More than 3,000 people have been evacuated since the fire started on Tuesday, and at least 12,000 acres have been burned. At last check, no deaths or injuries have been reported. A 6.2 magnitude earthquake off the Turkish coast shakes the city of Istanbul. Turkish officials say no deaths have been reported from today's earthquake, but at least 151 people were hurt after jumping out of high places due to panic. So far, over 50 aftershocks have been reported, with the strongest being of 5.9 magnitude. Scientists say 84% of the world's coral reefs have been affected by bleaching in what marine scientists are calling the largest bleaching event on record. Bleaching happens when heat interferes with the coral's metabolism, causing it to turn white. This is the 4th global bleaching event, which the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says started in 2023. Scientists say rising sea temperatures are causing these prolonged bleaching events to become more frequent and severe as time moves forward. Sophia, Emma, back to you.
Thanks, Cole. This weekend, get ready to pump up the jams for a musically good time.
We've got your backstage pass to a great time in Norman after the break.
An active weather pattern is expected for much of the southern portions of the United States. Stay tuned to see how it affects you. Hello everyone and welcome back to OU Nightly. It is clear out right now, mostly clear I should say. We do see a couple clouds over there. Now currently it is 77 here in Norman, dew point around 53, so not overall kind of dry right now. Winds out of the southwest around 13 miles an hour, so kind of gusty. But let's take a quick look at the entire state. 77 in Norman, like I said, 79 up in Oklahoma City. We are seeing some 80s in portions of the state, 81 over in Guyman, 80 in Woodward and Elk City. Now, this will be coming into our severe weather for tonight, where the places that we did see those 80s are under that slight risk. And like I also said earlier, this main threat is expected to be wind and hail. Now, let's take a quick look at our future cast, where we're actually going to be seeing storms move into Norman right around that 3 a.m. We could possibly see some sprinkles between midnight and 3 a.m. And then it is going to continue to move to the east. And then we're going to see the clouds kind of clear out for a little bit. And then on Friday, we're going to see storms start to move through with the cold front. You can see that clear line with the clouds moving through around 3 a.m. on Friday. And those will continue to move through the east. And then Friday evening, another round of storms. You can see it right there in the southwestern portions of the state near Lawton, and that will be Friday night's rain chances. Now, in the morning, we're going to be cooler just because of the rain and cloudier conditions. And then we're going to warm up into the 70s after the clouds clear out. And then we'll be seeing the 70s for the rest of the day. Now, severe weather tomorrow, marginal risk. Again, main concerns for that are also wind and hail. Same goes into our Friday severe weather outlook. These can possibly be upgraded to a slight risk, but let's take a quick look into next week where we are already in that slight risk. And this risk goes all the way up the I-35 corridor up into Minnesota. Now, all threats are possible with this. Stay with OU Nightly, and we will be making sure to keep you guys posted on this. On Tuesday, we have another chance of severe weather. Norman's right on the edge of it, but it's mainly for the eastern portions of the state. Now, we're going to take a quick look at the 7-day forecast, and rain every single day. Looking at those rain chances and temperatures mainly in the 70s. We might break into the 80s on Monday.
Well, I'm happy that we're getting rain, getting some, like water in the air, but I do have senior pictures on Sunday, so I guess that's gonna have to be paused.
Indoor senior pictures would be fantastic. I personally have already taken my senior pictures. I know the Biz is a great place to take some, so maybe there.
See, I wanted to golf, but thank you, Taylor. One business is taking customer service to the next level. OU Nightly reporter Kariana Gamboa has the story.
For many, small acts of kindness turn a routine shopping trip into something meaningful. And to Rosie and Mike Sutherland, they aren't just selling vintage Western goods, they're making connections and touching lives one boot at a time.
Last week, I had a lady in tears because of a pair of boots that we have that her father used to have. It was similar to, she goes, my dad only wore these on special occasions. And so it is kind of a personal connection to the past for a lot of people.
Because it's like a affirmation of this item is beautiful and I want to keep giving it life.
Their business allowing them to connect with people all over the country.
Befriending them and them befriending us, those relationships are unique. People that we probably never would have never otherwise have met.
Customers saying it's not just about what's on the shelves, but it's their welcoming smiles that makes shopping more enjoyable.
She was telling me a lot about how she got a lot of stuff, and it was very interesting to see all of it.
To them, even a quick moment can matter.
I think just looking into people's eyes and just saying hi. How are you? How are you doing? And meaning it. And, sometimes people open up.
Through vintage Western pieces, they're sharing values in every conversation, hoping to leave a lasting impact beyond their shop walls. Kariana Gamboa, OU Nightly.
And for its 17th year in a row, the Norman Music Festival is back this weekend. The festival is completely free and features more than 250 musical acts, and there will also be local food vendors, comedy shows, and a kid zone. Parking will be limited, so organizers recommend ride sharing or using public transportation. For the full lineup and VIP pass information, head to normanmusicfestival.com. But don't move a muscle, because sports is next.
Hello, I'm Oliver Schaefer, and it's time for sports. The OSSAA has approved a vote to implement a 35-second shot clock for 6A through 3A high school basketball, starting in 2026 to 2027. Oklahoma now joins more than 30 states in adopting a shot clock for high school hoops. The board also voted for small school classes to experiment with shot clocks, voting 10-4 if both teams agree to this rule. However, it will not be used in the playoffs for the small school classes. The Thunder keep rolling as they win Game 2 against the Grizzlies 118-99. The Thunder, who did not trail even for a second all game, were led by MVP finalist Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 27 points. All-star Jalen Williams decided to sing the blues to Memphis, dropping 24. Champions deserve a celebration, so join OU in celebrating women's gymnastics next Monday at 6 p.m. at the Lloyd Noble Center. Speaking of the champs, we had them join us on Sooner Sports Pad last night.
Really special experience, especially after last year. Everybody knows what happened, but it was amazing. This entire year with this season was so much fun. We really wanted it, and we worked hard for it every single day, and we went out there and we did it.
It's pretty awesome winning my first national championship, and just with my team, the team chemistry this year is really good, so I was really excited to win it for all of them.
As the Jim Nagy era continues, OU continues to show they mean business. The Sooners make a splash in the transfer portal as Oklahoma adds defensive tackle Siola Ricky Lolohea. Lolohea is a redshirt sophomore that comes off a season at Utah State in which he played in 8 games, recording 10 total tackles and 1 tackle for a loss. The Golden Eagles soared last night as OU baseball fell just short. Oral Roberts University upset the Sooners by a score of 5-3. Oklahoma struck first, but it was all Oral Roberts from there. After second inning single, the Eagles never relinquished the lead. In tennis, a few of the Sooner ladies are drumming up quite a racket. 3. That's the magic number, as 3 Sooners have received all SEC honors. Alina Sherbanina and Julia Garcia Ruiz were named to second team, while Salak Thip Unmong was named to the all-freshman squad. Emma, Sophia?
Thanks, Oliver. This Friday, students are lacing up their sneakers and wearing purple for a good cause.
Find out what relay full of meaning is being held on campus next.
I'm Caroline Kramer at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Oklahoma death row inmate John Hansen is asking the Pardon and Parole Board for clemency ahead of his hearing next month. Hansen was convicted of the 1999 kidnapping and shooting of 77-year-old Mary Bowles near Tulsa. In the filing, Hansen's lawyers claim he is on the autism spectrum and that his co-defendant, who is serving a life sentence, was more involved in the crime. The Oklahoma Attorney General is urging the board to deny clemency for Hansen, who is set to be executed June 12th. Sophia, Emma.
Thanks, Caroline. Now, it's not actually a relay race, but more of a fight to end cancer.
OU Relay for Life's main event is this Friday from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Sarkey's Fitness Center. During the event, there will be games, raffles, a remembrance ceremony, and a celebration for survivors and fighters, wrapping up the night with a big donation reveal. To register online, visit ou.edu/relay.
Now, I know this event is very near and dear to all of our hearts here at the table. I've been to a couple of Relay for Lives myself.
Yes, I'm super excited. My mom will be walking for the Survivor's Lap, so I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, my dad had cancer, and thankfully for those who are going to the Relay for Life, it'll be indoors because we do have that rain chance on Friday. Now we're going to be seeing those rain chances continue throughout the entire week. So like I said, thankfully it's indoors and you will be staying dry during that fun fundraiser.
Yeah, thank you, Taylor, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. For the last time, I am Sophia Cabrera.
And I'm Emma McAndrews. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.